Hey guys, Stock Saturday and another green week that I'm being proven wrong. Haven't spent my cash, but yeah, 3,000 up on the portfolio for the week. But the UK have announced their interest rate rise, 0.5%. Sort of people were expecting 0.25% earlier, sort of this month and last month, but they went with 0.5%. But they've also forecast sort of some fairly rough times. So they're forecasting a 5-quarter recession, which is quite something to come out with, sort of having not really suggested anything like that previously. So yeah, even sort of normally you would expect interest rate rises to do well for the pound, but that's dropped, and yeah, everyone sort of forecasting bad times, basically. US is already in the traditional definition of a recession, but they have sort of changed that and said it isn't one, which I think is a little bit strange. And yeah, the UK sort of saying that we're going to be in one probably from sort of either this quarter or next quarter. And they think 5 quarters. I think that could maybe even be a little bit sort of worse than it actually is, but yeah, we'll see. So strangely enough, this portfolio has sort of done the best. Silver surprisingly sort of doing okay this week, and Argo and Hive both up sort of a fair amount, so not too bad. Hive sort of does quite a bit of Ethereum mining still, so leading up to the merge, but while they're still doing it, then they're still getting a fair amount of Ethereum, so they're doing okay. I still think both of them are sort of not really in too much profit at the moment, taking in sort of all the overheads and other costs, but yeah, they're not doing too bad. So the Trading212 ISA, just to say they have been sort of accepting people now. So again, link in the description below if you want to give it a go and open up an account. But yeah, so the ISA is up £300, not a huge amount. The sort of UK real estate market hasn't been doing all that well. I guess they're sort of taking the recession forecast not too well, but US sort of holding up okay. Yeah, as I say, Argo blockchain doing quite well, 6% for the week. The little ARC tracker is doing quite well. Nasdaq sort of having a fairly strong week, so that's gone up with that as well. Digital Realty not doing quite as well. First Majestic, as you say, silver having a fairly good week, so that's come up. Sylvania slightly up. They came out with their earnings. I can't remember if it was this week or the previous week. Not particularly good. Sort of platinum and palladium prices doing okay, but rhodium down. So yeah, as expected, they weren't doing all that good, but yeah, still a huge amount of cash on the balance sheet, and sort of prices ticking up so far this quarter. So obviously with no debt, still very, very happy with the company, and sort of hoping the chip shortage is easing a little and we can get to car production again. So that would help that. As I say, yeah, the UK sort of anything related to property has sort of had a bit of a bad week. Tritax Eurobox even sort of not doing all that well. I think that's, again, Europe sort of energy fears and that sort of thing. Vici pretty flat. And the short, of course, with the Nasdaq rise, is really not doing well. So 7% down on the week, and yeah, 35% down on the month. Only a small position, of course. Yeah, down £600 now, but I still think we've got a leg down on the Nasdaq, so we'll keep that. Looking at the invest account, very choppy week. Sort of down early part of the week and then come back up. and sort of ended up about £600. So yeah, not a huge amount of sort of big moves in here. As I say, housing market sort of not doing all that well. So anything housing related has trickled down a little. Broadcom having an okay week. We've had some earnings. Himax, I believe, report this coming week, so that'd be interesting. I may, because that's forecast to be sort of the worst quarter, so results, I guess people are expecting it, but they may not, but with it being such a small cap. So if they come out with sort of bad earnings and it drops, then may finally deploy some of that cash, because they are at sort of pretty much the lows. Only got to sort of mid $6 really, and we're at $6.94. So if this is the worst quarter and their sort of forecast doesn't really raise the price up, then I may go in. Intel, people still hating, of course, poor results and nothing too exciting on the short term horizon, so people aren't going to be buying that. I think I would want to see something a little bit more positive sort of going forward to buy, rather just buy TSMC at the moment. Lennar, yeah, pretty flat. Meta Platforms, bit up and down recently, but 5% on the week. Again, want to sort of see a little bit more from the Horizon World sort of metaverse side. Haven't sort of kept too up to date with the headset sales, whether they've put out any data recently, but yeah, it's just all a little bit of an unknown at the moment. Micron, pretty flat for the week. Nintendo, strangely sort of down and back up again. They have released their earnings, which were sort of strangely sort of masked by FX effects. So revenue down, console shipments down. You would kind of expect that sort of 5 years into the console life, and it was a bit unfortunate that sort of the Switch OLED isn't really sort of doing the job, I don't think. We were all hoping for a Switch Pro, but from what I gather, Nvidia weren't sort of ready for market with the chip shortage, so we got the Switch OLED, and it's just not really as good an upgrade as many people would want. So yeah, console shipments are down. I think they would be anyway, but they sort of got saved by their FX results. So revenue was down quite a bit, but net profit basically stayed the same. And a couple of guys on Discord sort of dug into the results, and they basically say it was a gain as a result of FX. So if the yen sort of strengthens again at some point, then they might make a loss. But so far, it seems to be tanking. So Nintendo will report high profits, but it's not really profit. Porsche, slightly up on the week. Results sort of the previous week, I think, still not all that good. So I'm not super keen at these prices. Process barely moved. Rio Tinto still having a sort of bit of an up and down. The sort of iron ore price doesn't seem too bad, and still sort of pressing on with their diversification. But if we have bottomed on iron ore, that would be possibly a nice buy. Samsung, pretty flat for the week. Again, didn't get to buy it at the lows, but I might consider it. Shell, strange one really. Sort of very good earnings, but flat. That was previous week again. Yeah, so not huge amount of movements in any of these really. 1.7% on Stellantis and 1.4% on TSMC. Didn't get to spend my cash, still not coming down. Taylor Wimpey had a bit of a move down, but would sort of prefer to be buying a little lower. Tesla, sort of, again, 3% down, but nothing I'd be looking at buying. So yeah, interesting one really. I'm kind of waiting for a little bit more negative news to come out. People sort of seeing a bit more of the recession. I really don't think we've bottomed here. So yeah, just sitting and waiting for a bit. Let me know what you guys think, and like and subscribe. See you soon.